So, I last uploaded 4 months ago when I also quit game dev for what I thought would be forever, but in the end here I am making a new horror game once again. But the problem I encountered was how to get an idea, and I wanted to make something simple for my first finished project, so the obvious go-to plan was to make another Five Nights at Freddy's copy, as every programmer does. But I wanted to make everything more interesting, and I remembered a game I used to like a couple of years ago, which is Papers, Please. And then, as you may know from my previous videos, I really seem to like public transportation for some reason. So I thought to myself, why not combine everything in one small game? And so here I am, after 4 months of inactivity, making a Five Nights at Freddy's Papers, Please bus stop horror video game. So, the first step was to install Unreal Engine once again, and then I had to remember how to actually use blueprints again. And I decided to first make a prototype of the game and then worry about the graphics, 3D models, etc. And so I started with the coding. And at first I was making good progress, but then the first bugs and code problems started to show. And I realized that was because of the fact that I had like 500,000 variables in every actor of the game, and I didn't even know what each of them was trying to do in the game. And the code was just a big spaghetti mess. And I didn't have a clear idea on what to do either. So yeah, I forgot to tell you what the game is all about, didn't I? Well, basically you are a person on isolated by stop and there are buses coming by. Each bus has a number, and with the number there comes an ID and a line number, which you can see on a list that you have with you. So when every bus comes, you get a card that presents the document for that bus. Then you have to compare the card information with the bus information that you have on the list. If the information is right, you also have to check if the bus is coming from the right town. And you can do that by looking at another list that you have with you. And you have to do that whilst also having to constantly check behind you, because every couple of seconds the monster spawns in different locations behind you, and you have to point a flashlight at him to make them disappear. If you don't do that fast enough, the monster will kill you, and if you incorrectly check the bus, you lose the game. Also, the more that you look behind you, the more sanity you lose, which makes the monster teleport faster. Also, you start to lose your flashlight battery, which you have to recharge by pressing a button. So this is the basic idea for the game, and I will be adding other features to this. But now back to the development. After I realized that my first project was slowly falling apart, I started a new one, but this time I carefully wrote every variable, its type and what it does in a separate notebook, so that I don't mess up again. But then another problem showed up, and that is the fact that my monitor would occasionally just turn off. I would have to restart the computer mid-programming, and in doing so I would often lose a lot of data. In the worst cases I would lose entire blueprints, classes and scripts. So after some research, and by that I mean opening my computer to check if there are any hardware issues, I realized that my GPU was getting so hot that I could basically boil water in it. And how do I solve my classic computer issues? By adding an extra ventilator, but not in the way that you might think. And now, after these issues have been fixed, I'm almost done with the basic programming and have moved on to some light graphics work. So I 3D modeled a bus stop and a radio model. Also, I'm trying to come up with a monster idea, but for now that's all that I came up with. Then I moved on to my trusty browser software Photopea and made some cards and list designs that would act as placeholders in the game. So for now the graphic design in the Unreal project is very poor, like the monster is basically a cylinder and the bus is just a stretch cube. But if you want to see the progress, here it goes with no sound or graphic design. So I have my game right here. As you can see now, the bus comes, we get a number, we have to check it on the list. 237929. It's not the same as in the ID card, so we click F as false and the bus goes away. Then we have to flash the monster so it goes away, and we can then recharge the light. There we go, the bus comes in the number 24. 2428288. It's not the same once again. Then 419. I still have to fix some bugs in which the spawn chance for a bus that's correct it's higher. So for now, a lot of buses are false to their documents. 0819, as you can see, most of them aren't true at all. $25, 974, not the same once again. So I will fix this issue until the next game dev, and for now this is just the basic gameplay, because when an actual bus that's right would come, you would have to check this as well if it goes from the right down. So yeah, I will fix this at the next game dev video. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you will wishlist my game once I post it on Steam. Please like and subscribe to support the development of the game, and see you in the next one.